So that container, I was not cleaning it since 1 week. I was just refilling it from top. We need that microbial activity. There are stable microbes. Actually, I can continue to use that without cleaning because there will be stable microbes which will develop. But the container will get eroded if we are doing like that constantly. If we don't clean it, the algae will form on the surface of the container and it gets eroded, and we need some other ecosystem also to maintain that water purification system. So for that reason, pond setup is one thing where we need not maintain it, but this one needs maintenance. We need to clean it and again restart it every once in a week, every week, weekly once or weekly twice. We need to restart this method. So from the time my parents are drinking this water, like we have switched to from RO maybe 6 years back. So completely we stopped using RO. So they were very much comfortable. Like initially, yes, there was resistance. They were having the taste of that RO water will be different. So they were not accommodating themselves initially. So slowly we introduced, and later on now, if anyone comes to my home, they will give this water for them to taste and ask them to feel the taste and get their opinions. Everyone, whoever comes to my house, when they taste the water, they feel like as if they are drinking some spring water. So that's how the water will change. So people already have started implementing such setups at every place. So really, it's really great. Like it's really great benefit they can absorb. So we need minerals, so which are there in the bioavailable form through this method. Natural life is there. So normally we try to boil the water for drinking to kill the germs in it, but we need life in the water. So we should just avoid the pathogenic harmful bacteria, so which can be overcome by keeping under sun and doing this filtration process. That would be enough.
This filter is different, Guruji, and the Rama filter is different?
Yes. This is only sedimentation and floating mechanism. There are no filter cartridges here. It's only sedimentation and floating.
So this is even better than that filter?
Yeah, like I can't say, like even Rama water filter is good. You have to just open up the container, cover a cloth and allow the sunlight and moonlight to fall. Then also it will be nice.
Because in the break, I was seeing the website of Rama water filter. So it was given a diagram where it is ceramic filters and activated carbon.
Yeah.
So usually the filters that we have are plastic, as you're rightly saying. So, okay. So that's what I was wondering. Is that okay? Or we have to go with this kind of a filter that you are suggesting?
Yeah. To avoid plastic medium only, I went to this method.
Okay.
And Rama water filter, again, I have to buy the cartridges. This doesn't need to buy any cartridges. This Nirmali seeds will cost 300 rupees per kilo in bazaar. Like online, it may be 400 or 500. This will survive me more than a year. So unlike Rama water filter cartridges, you have to replace once in a year. It will cost you around 3,000 or 6,000, I think. So cost wise also
900 Sailanganji.
900. Okay.
Yeah, 200 is 900. Yes. We used it. We changed once.
Okay.
How was the feedback? You're using it? Can you share?
1 minute. I'll come back. Just 1 minute.
Yeah, Priya can share if Priya is there.
Sayanji, I had a question. The TDS has to be low for using this type of filtration.
So we are using this last 3 years actually, and we bought it from Chennai. And the stainless steel container, this 2 layers, top and bottom, where we use our regular borewell water, not borewell water. It is actually, it's a well type of. We stay in Mahindra University where they have a big wells. So from there they are pumping this to our regular kitchen pipes. So the well water is being filtered in this Rama filter, and we are using it. And the taste will be little change after filtration. There the small change in the taste, but it is good actually. And we feel that we have a very good energy when we drink this water. And the maintenance of cartridges, like maybe once in 1 year or 1.5 years, after that you have to change it. It costs around 900 rupees for 2 candles, and you have 2 different set of this one capacity. Based on your requirement, you can buy it.
Guruji, for
so
this,
much.
Yeah.
Guruji, for this Rama water filter, can we use this Nirmali seeds?
Yes, but not required.
No, because my concern is with the chlorine and all those things.
Rama water filter can eradicate chlorine.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Guruji.
Why I was asking was
Muthu.
because when we are working, then we have less time to do so many things. So if there is something which is better than the regular RO that we are using.
Shweta, can you tell what I do if in your house to drink your RO water?
Sorry, sir.
Shweta,
Yes, Shailendraji.
can you tell what I do if I come to your house to drink your RO water? How I will change it?
Yeah, actually, we were following this method in our previous house, but now there is a little bit of problem with the sump here. There is some problem with the sump here, so that's the reason again we have switched back to RO water. But when Shailendraji comes here, what he does is he takes the RO water, he puts a little bit of biosalt and little bit of lemon juice, and he drinks it.
And Kritika, what I did at your house?
Like in a bottle, you put a little lemon piece and then salt, little salt, very minimal of salt and lemon, and kept it.
Guruji, can I ask a question related to this RO water itself?
Yes, please.
Yeah, like we have RO water. Can we put the RO water in the earthen pot, like mud pot, and to energize and create a vortex? Like generally, I understand the structure, water structure, and all. I generally do it with a spoon to create a vortex and drink.
Okay.
Every time I drink, but to energize and retain the structure and inculcate that purity, like put the tulsi or moringa seeds in the earthen pot and create the vortex and put it in the under the sun and moon for 2-3 days and drink it. Is it
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
All the energies and everything would be retained and
Yes. So RO water, you can additionally add mineral. Basically, it would be better than consuming RO water directly.
yes, sir. So like instead, like we can't like right now go for that bigger drum that you were suggesting. This would be
Yeah.
for some time in between.
Yes.
We can use this kind of thing so that something will be replaced instead of RO water.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guru.
But eventually, RO water will completely deplete the minerals. So though you do this process for a while, still you need to come to some natural.
Out of it. Out of it. Thank you, Guruji.
Okay.
Muthuviran, can you share the model, whatever you are using in Rama water filter?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll just share it in group.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Guruji,
Yeah.
we drink the water like this.
Keeping in copper
So-
pot.
Yeah, and the taste is changed once it is stored in this pot.
Yes.
So there are two pots.
So basically, water has memory. When the water is kept in this containers, so it will absorb the mineral property of that container. So it get remineralized a bit. You can also add the stones and crystals into it.
For the copper vessel, sometimes does it happen that we end up getting cold?
Good question. People who are switching from regular RO water to some natural mechanisms like this, they get cold. Why? Because all this while we were not giving lively water. So when you are giving life in the water, the process, the body goes into detoxification mode. So you get cold. You may also get heaviness initially when you are shifting the water, because all this while there were some toxins inside your gut. Because of this lively water, it will detox. So because of detoxification, you will feel heavy also. So this can be possible when you are shifting from like regular water, RO water to natural water.
And using glass bottles, Guruji, when
Yeah, just a minute. Sindhu. Yeah, Sindhu.
How long?
Your voice is breaking.
Depends on the toxicity, you say. Is it how long the X might more? So
we lost you.
Can't hear you, Sindhu.
Okay, so it affects my younger daughter. So we stopped using it. We did not, I mean, we thought, okay, it may go on. So you say that after some time it will go. I mean, she'll get used to it. Okay.
It's not getting used to it. Basically, it's a cleansing mechanism. From RO, when you are shifting,
can we do anything to help her?
Once the toxin, no, I'm missing again. When you are drinking only that copper filled water, like what do you mean?
My younger daughter ends up getting a cold.
When
she drinks the water stored in the copper vessel.
Copper vessel. Okay.
Yeah.
Continuously,
So,
continuously, or for some time she gets cold.
We used it for a month or so, and then when it continued, we just stopped using it. So shall I go ahead and use it and see what happens? Or
Yeah. Since 1 month, it should not retain for 1 month actually. Maybe for 1-2 days, it will be, again depending on the toxicity also, it can happen.
so can anything be added to it, to the copper, to the vessel, to make it better?
You can keep under sun.
Okay.
Cover a cloth and keep under sun.
Okay, I'll try.
So the pepper should be clean that the copper vessel, that is also important.
Copper should be cleansed properly. Yeah. Are you cleaning the copper container properly?
Yeah.
With
every day.
Daily you have to clean.
With
tamarind or lemon or some bioenzyme.
Okay.
So the peppers we have to clean every few days?
Yes. We need to clean the pebbles, because what happens when we continuously keep, then algae formation will happen. So we need to clean.
So if something, the algae comes in the water, we should discard the water, or we can take the top?
See, algae is again natural mechanism in the water for purification. But again, you need different ecosystem, like different microbial activity, different aquatic species to again balance it. So suppose I go to any pond, there is a lot of algae in the pond, but there is a lot of ecosystem there. I just move the top water and drink that water directly. So it's not a problem for a while, but if you continue, then it will grow on. So to balance that algae, there is no mechanism, then it will cause a problem.
So if in the pot there is algae, then what to do?
We have to just clean it. That's it.
We don't have to discard the water.
See, normally, if you ask me, I don't discard the water. I'll just clean that algae and I will drink that water. But again, we have a lot of notions. There will be microbial activity there, how it may affect us. So I don't mind consuming. I just separate that part and drink that water, because algae is visible, but there are many microbial life inside the water which is not visible. But I try to take life in the water. Again, it depends on when you try to take that water, definitely you will get cold, cough, and all. If you are ready for it, then you can take, or else not required. You can discard that water, and like if you clean the container daily, then algae will not form.
So I found water stored in glass is not causing this cold cough. I also used to get this cold in copper water vessels, but in glass bottles I'm not getting.
Yeah, glass. See, when algae will form when there is sunlight. Okay, life will grow because of sun. So normally, if you see in the sump which is completely sealed, basically when sunlight will not fall into the sump and it is aerated, no algae will form in the sump. So algae will form whenever there is sunlight. When there is water, moisture, and when there is sun, then algae will grow. All the aquatic life will start growing. That is a process.
But sir, I found there's some property difference in the water stored in glass and water stored in copper vessels.
Yes, copper gets oxidized also. Na? Glass will not get oxidized.
There is in a copper vessel, it is developing coolness, while in glass it is neutral.
Neutral, yes, yes. Copper has that cooling property also.
Guruji, if we brought river water and we kept in the mud pot, then is necessary to add
Nirmali seed.
Nirmali seeds
Yes.
or moringa seeds.
Yes, yes. Because river water, it will have a lot of muddy thing. Like one thing is it will sediment. But when you are trying to take that water again, the mud will mix into the water.
Okay, Guruji. And how
Basic
many days?
Rama water, that candle filter would be enough to clean that muddy things. Muddy
Okay.
things.
For at how many days we have to clean the mud pot if we bring
Daily
mud
we
pot?
have to clean.
Daily you have to.
Once you finish that, see, if you have to maintain, then you have to clean daily. So if you want to make it automized, then you have to allow some natural mechanism like ecosystem, which is not possible. So clean it daily, then that will be better, na?
Yeah, mud pot for water, we have to clean it with the scrubber. Is it enough or we have to do an extra cleaning? Okay, thank you.
Scrubbing is enough.
Okay. Guruji, for before Muruganji asked that copper thing, somewhere I listened if we use any copper utensils, we have to give a break after 3 months. We should not.
Ideally, mud containers are very good throughout the year. So normally in winters, in mud containers, water will be cool. So we normally people will not like to have chilled water, but I am comfortable using water from the mud pot. So during winters, you can transfer the water into the glass container where it will be neutral. It will not be very cool. So copper containers are also fine during rainy season. Because in winters, again, the water will be cool in copper containers also.
Some Guruji told that if we continue to take in copper vessels for 6 months like that, we'll get some issues.
Liver toxicity.
Yeah, you have to stop.
Constantly. Yeah, we need to stop.
We need to stop at 3 months and again give a gap of 15 days or 1 month, and I have to again you have to use, they told.
Yeah.
Okay, Guruji, thank you.
The best way to clean mud pot is just scrub with coconut coir or some cloth, some rough cloth also, then keep under sun. So sun can sterilize the container easily. Keep under sun and you can use that.
Guruji, even if we go for Rama water filter, do we need to keep it under the sun?
Better.
Okay.
You will get the sun charge and moon charge also.
Good.
So when suppose many people will be asking me if I don't have sun, even light is enough.
Oh, perfect.
Sunlight is enough.
Okay.
Means daylight. Daylight is enough.
Okay.
Even you can keep in the balcony. Yeah, Vidya, you were asking. You raised your hand.
No, I just present. That was
Okay.
that
Okay.
time.
Ramesh. Okay, Rajwant.
I was asking Guruji that earlier I used to use plastic bottles, drinking for storage. If I have to carry it.
Never keep water in plastic bottles. Plastic will leach.
Yeah, then I discarded them 5 years back. Then I started getting acrylic bottle. Then I discarded that. Then I learned about glass is better. Then I am now using to store. And if I have to carry somewhere with me, then glass bottle. So is it okay to use glass?
Yeah, glass bottle. Only you have to just handle carefully. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
What stainless steel bottles?
Stainless steel is okay. Compared to glass, glass would be better than stainless steel.
To give children, glass would not be safe. So
yeah, see, very good question. We have a notion that children will not handle glass containers carefully. Actually they can handle well. We are not giving them, and we are making them used to this plastic. See, Shaivi is using glass bottle.
It's her bottle actually. It's a glass bottle, and she washes it and she maintains it actually.
And I never broke a phone also. Like small children cannot handle it. There's like a kind of a glass and they cannot handle, but one single phone also it can break. No, not even the tiny keypad, neither this kind of a phone also.
We have a notion that children will not handle glass. Maybe they may break, because if they are not, if we are not exposing them to glass, to handle the glass, definitely they may break, because they have seen plastic. If it falls down, it will not break, and they don't have any memory. But suppose if you are giving glass containers initially, they may break 1 or 2, but they'll be very conscious later, because they have experience now. This has to be handled differently. So please try to expose them to glass containers. Even mud containers. Normally we don't give children because they will not handle, it will break. Even if they break 1 or 2, it's fine. They will know, they will learn from that experience.
I have one question. Go for sports. So for sports, I cannot tell them, okay, be careful when you're running around. So yeah, so I have to give them some alternative.
Maybe that time you can go for a steel one.
Yeah, that's when they use the steel.
Yeah.
Guruji, regarding this, in China and in Japanese, they use ceramic from childhood. They know well how to handle it.
Yes.
Due to our elder practices, even children also, we are also same. We are doing the things. But in China, we can see they used they will mostly they use ceramic. Yes, Guruji. Yeah.
Okay, Shweta, I have one question. For that glass bottle, you have put something, whatever bottle you have given to Shaivi, you have put some rubber kind of thing at the bottom, or it has come along with the bottle? Because when I search for glass bottle to send my to send it to school with my daughter,
it has come along with the bottle.
Okay, so which?
Yeah, it has come along with the bottle.
Yeah, that would be safe to send to the school. So which bottle is that? Which brand or?
It is Solimo. S-O. I think just S-O.
Solimo. Okay, where did you get that? I mean, can we buy it? Where can we buy that?
Online. I bought it online. I can share the link if you want.
Okay, please share that link. I was searching for something similar like this.
Yeah.
So that's why even Sanika likes drinking in a glass bottle. So she was asking to send a glass bottle to school, but I couldn't find anything safe to send it to school. That's why.
And as I use only stone cookware, even my daughter carries it and keeps it properly. So she has that consciousness now, like I carefully handle, right? Even she does it. So if we tell them, teach them, even when they see and observe, they'll be able to grasp it.
Yeah. But in school, I don't know. I mean, in case if it breaks, it's very dangerous. No, in the school, many kids will be there. They'll be running around. They'll carry it to the PE period. They'll keep it somewhere in hot sun. So all that things happen. So it's better you share the link. Thanks.
Okay. Then about water. So RO water, people who are using RO water, one person, what he did, he boiled, keeping one cup, he boiled one water, like half water, like suppose for 10 liters, he boiled 5-liter water. I think I have mentioned in the document. I will share that. He boils that water. When he cools, when he cooled that water, he is adding the remaining RO water and this raw boiling water, like without filtration. He boiled the water. After it cooled down, he is adding that boiled water to the RO water, basically adding some softness. He mentioned. I will share that document. So that was also nice. But by boiling the water, we are killing the life in it. Maybe we can overcome some microbial activity in the water, but basically the life which we require will not be there in that water. When we use bioenzymes in water, we'll talk more about water cleansing or water softening methods by using bioenzymes. So normally when you add bioenzymes in your sump, automatically water gets softer, hard. Like I was talking about bioavailable minerals. So when you add bioenzymes, the microbes in the in that bioenzymes will break down the hardness of that minerals. Then automatically when that water goes into the overhead tank and comes into your pipeline, water gets purified in the sump. The pipeline gets purified because of the microbial activity. And finally, when you collect that water also, it will be structured and the water will be bioavailable. So when we talk about edible cultures, so we can also add these edible biocultures into the water for purification methods.
Okay, I have one doubt here. Edible culture means can we add kali, biosalt?
Yeah, that's what biosalt, your arishtas and all. But water when we drink water, it should be like plain. Normally, people will not like to consume some taste in the water. When they drink water, they expect to have something plain. Okay. So we can add in very dilution, like suppose for 100 liters, 10-20 ml would be enough. Okay, but resting time should be there. Like suppose for 1,000-liter tank, I will add 1 liter of bioenzyme. That would be enough.
Okay. So for this water which we consume in the drum, yeah, so that is around 30 liters water drum which I have kept on terrace. So for that, how much I can add biosalt every day? Whenever I fill the water, you can add. Biosalt or kali or beet quas or anything.
Beet quas, it will leave some red color.
Okay.
So yeah, arishta, you can add arishta.
Or jaggery culture.
Yeah, jaggery culture. Rather than jaggery culture, jaggery arishta. We'll talk more about it.
Okay, jaggery arishta I don't have. Other than that, is there any other option? Biosalt?
Biosalt you can add.
Kali I can add. Biosalt.
Yeah, kali you can add. Yes.
Okay, so for 30 liters, how much I'll have to add?
For 30 liters, you can add around 20-30 ml.
Okay. For 10 liters, 10 ml.
10 ml.
Okay.
So along with this, to add minerals in water, ash has a property of minerals. Wood ash or cow dung ash. So nowadays, there were some companies which they were selling brands of ash powder, by name Oxygel. So we have a traditional practice by adding ash into the water, we can mineralize the water. So that's how the alkaline properties in the ash was being infused into the water. So what we can do in the pot, when we add RO water in the pot, even though you're adding copper plate or something, add for 10 liters of water, add 10 grams of wood ash, finely sieved wood ash burned from edible woods. Like there are some toxic woods which cannot be used. So some thorny plant, something like that. Apart from that, any wood which is used for firewood, that is that ash would be beneficial. Or if you have access for getting ash from Agnihotra, like when you do Havan and all from temple, so even that ash is fine. Or wood, cow dung ash is also fine. So that ash you have to sieve finely. Ash means it should be completely like white. It should not be charcoal. It should be white, finely burnt ash. So that ash, when you add in water, it will add minerals into your water. So for existing RO system, you can just transfer into the pot, add that ash into the water and rest it for 8 hours. Then you can consume that water. But only problem when you add ash is when you take the water from top, the ash will mix up into the water again. So carefully you have to take that. It's nothing harm, but the water will not be transparent. Like there'll be some ash which will mix up into the water. So if you have a tap, some metal tap or some wooden tap, which have to be done, R&D has to be done. So if you have a tap for that pot, then ash will settle down. Then you can take that top water. Or in that water filtration mechanism, you can add ash in that steel drum because you have that sedimentation mechanism. So you will get mineral property into the water additionally, then you can collect that water. So like that, I made one alkaline liquid by adding wood ash or cow dung ash in the ratio of 1 to 4 times of water. So I mix daily for 1 week and I keep it for after 1 week, mixing after 1 week. In that container, I keep a tap above the base level because ash should be down. So I collect that water and it will be clear liquid. So that alkaline liquid pH will be something around 14. So when I add in the drinking water, suppose 10 ml in 1 liter water, it will turn into alkaline water. So this is natural way of adding minerals and alkalizing your water, which the minerals which are bioavailable for us. But there are some equipments in the market, alkaline cartridges, alkaline filters and all. So again, in alkaline cartridges, if the medium which they are using are chemical medium, like chemical mineral medium, again, it will not be suitable for us. You may find some benefits initially, but over a period of time, these are again synthetic minerals. It will accumulate in your kidneys and it may form kidney stone and other problems. By pH, it is alkaline. So it will be helpful in managing some ill health initially, because all this while we were not having alkaline water. Mostly the water also was acidic and there were no minerals. So we were having some health issue. So when we use this alkaline cartridges, initially they'll be beneficial, but later on it will get accumulated and causes some other problems. So don't try to go for these alkaline cartridges. Again, they are embedded inside polypropylene cartridges, plastic cartridges. There is no point. Other method is called I'm not telling the name brand names, but they are working on electrolysis method. So they will split the water molecules, acidic and alkaline. You will get some equipments where you can get alkaline and acidic water separately. So that water, there is lot of propaganda, lot of advertisement has been done, and yeah, there is. They will show you the pH meter and TDS, everything they will show. Definitely, the water is alkaline because you are splitting the water molecule. But by pH, it is alkaline, but it will not carry any minerals because you are splitting the water molecules. So that will not help in long period. Again, it will cause alkalosis and acidosis, because it depletes the mineral. Only by pH it is alkaline, but it will not have any minerals. So whenever we take water, body will expect some minerals in that water. But when we are giving water without minerals, then it gets confused. So again, you will get mineral imbalance, and you will get some other problems later. So these all equipments are having some or the other problems. So best way to naturally charge your water with alkaline minerals using microbial activity or some natural medium like mud container, wood ash. Sometime copper is also fine to alkalize the water. Because rainwater, if you see, rainwater is completely zero minerals. Rainwater is distilled water. So when we drink rainwater, we need not worry about any minerals, because rainwater is prana rich. So we need actually that water. When that water pass through stones, like rocks and pebbles and stones, and when it pass through different process, it will carry the mineral property on the rocks and stones, and that's how it will add minerals to it. So when it goes deeper and deeper and deeper, it will also carry that hard mineral property, hard frequencies into it. So we need rainwater. We can store that rainwater for lifetime if you don't allow sun rays to fall into it, but it has to be aerated. So there are many rainwater harvesting units where they will completely seal the tank. Only they will have a vent pipe where air will be circulating. If you don't circulate air, then it will go stale. Water will go stale. So even water kept in glass bottle, airtight glass bottles, it will go stale over a period of time. If it is RO water especially, even regular water, it will go bad if air is not being circulated. So we need life in the water. So when there is no air, then oxygen is not supplied and it will go bad. So this is some water purification techniques and utilizing water and how much water to consume. So when we are thirsty, we have to keep our body hydrated. So we are drinking maybe 3 liters water per day or 4 liters water per day. There is no fixed amount of water consumption actually. It depends on your work. Suppose you are like you have dehydrated a lot, not replenished with hydrated foods like fruits and vegetables, then definitely you will get dehydrated. Like suppose sometimes I eat some cooked food, immediately I'll feel thirsty because cooked food are acidic in nature. It needs a lot of water and it is dry. The nature of the cooked food is dry. So we need a lot of water. So normally if you have fruits and vegetables, then you will not feel thirsty because a lot of hydration is there in fruits and vegetables. So have you observed when you started including fruits and vegetables, was your water intake same like earlier, or were you drinking consciously, or just by norm you were drinking water? Anyone have started observing that?
Yes, I was observing, about to mention also that I hardly drink water these days, like the way I used to drink and feel thirsty. And now I was wondering that, is it because of winters, water consumption is less or what? Then I realized that yes, fruits and vegetables are becoming more major part of the diet. So yes, I have observed it.
Yeah, Vidya?
Same, Guruji. Cow dung feel thirsty much.
Yeah.
Guruji, cow dung ash, can we use this vibhuti, what they give in temple?
Vibhuti also nowadays you are getting adulterated. So if it is properly made from the Havan or Yagna, then it is fine.
Okay, biosalt means what? I can't understand.
We will talk later. Biosalt we have not covered yet. We will talk maybe on day 13, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Ruchi, you are raising your hand. Okay. So that's it. Any other doubts?
Sharanji, one
So-
I
question.
think
Huh.
Vidya.
Yeah, Vidya.
Yeah, how will we know that the water is the right way we are taking, or how is it?
So start listening to your body. Drink water when you are thirsty. First of all, we lost that intuitions. We are not listening to the body's signals. So when we are getting dehydrated, basically thirst is a sense. Body will indicate hunger. Body will indicate thirst. So we need to, like, because we forgot, we made a practice to drink. Nowadays in schools, they are making children to drink water every 1 hour because they lost that instincts. So every once in a while, actually body will ask, like, I keep sipping the water because I use my throat, I keep on talking, this gets dried up. So I replenish with some juice or some water just to keep this moist, or else I don't drink much water. So listen to your body first. That is the first indication. So early morning, we have a practice to drink 1 liter, 2 liter water on empty stomach. So that can be done as a therapy. Don't make it as a habit for your daily routine in your lifetime. So as a therapy, having 1 liter of water in the morning, yes, it will help. But replace that with juices or fruits, that would be much better. It may be some cucumber juice or bottle gourd juice or coconut water. Coconut water also good to replace, because when you have RO water so much, there is no point of replenishing your thirst, and you'll not even get any minerals from it. So 1 glass of water is fine in the morning if you want to drink, or some juices would be fine. But drinking water 1.5 liter as a therapy, it's fine again. You need not continue daily. All these practices have been introduced because we are not following the natural food. We are eating like late nights and wrong foods, more of cooked food, no hydration in the body, like hydration in the foods, no buttermilk, no probiotics. So no life in the food, basically.
I keep getting one question, Shailendraji. Drinking coconut water every day, is it recommended or not? Every day.
No, not daily. Sometimes you can have coconut water, sometimes juice. So daily, again, it's not advisable.
Okay. And when body will not ask for water, it doesn't, we don't get thirsty because most of the times people are in air conditioned setup and fan and like in a closed environment, so don't get thirsty. So then what? So is it like lips getting dried? That can be the
That is an indication
symptom?
of body getting dehydration.
Dehydrated. And urine turning yellow.
Yes, that is an indication of dehydration.
So these two things can be
At
considered.
least, yeah. Yes. At least these things you can consider if you are not able to sense the thirst. So, at least don't drink water immediately while eating food. In between, many people have a practice of drinking more water. Rather than drinking water while eating food, you can replace with some soup or some buttermilk. We'll talk about more on that aspects. But your cooked food should have some liquids also. Like we have a tradition of sambar, rasam and all. So with which we can replenish.
Shailendraji, one question. To add the ash into water, right, to get mineralized. So what is the proportion, like per liter?
So for 10 liters, you can add 10 grams of ash and keep it overnight.
10 liters, 10 gram.
1 spoon, basically, in a pot.
That we can add it into directly in the Rama filter, the top layer, we can add it directly.
Top layer you can add, yes. But I don't know if it filters. You have to check once. I have not tried in Rama filter.
Okay.
You can try once.
Okay.
But the other question is, how will we know the difference between the oxidized water or our water or your way of keeping the water? Which one is good and how to?
So
Measure it.
by drinking, like this was told by my Guruji. So we were experimenting various methods. So this is again a traditional method. Adding Nirmali seed in water is like age-old method. We forgot in between. So I just formulated. I have made little bit advanced thing, like adding the tap above, because Nirmali has a property to sediment the impurities down. So now when we are collecting water, the sediments again will float up. So we should not collect water from top. So there should be a tap so that you will not disturb that water, only collect that middle water. That's how I have improvised it. So how to know the differences? By taste. You just try to keep your RO water in sun, there'll be difference. Just try to keep your RO water in mud pot, there'll be difference. Try to keep your RO water in mud pot and keep under sun, there'll be difference. With taste only we can make the difference. There are no equipments. TDS, with TDS we can't measure the bioavailability of the minerals. It can only measure the total dissolved solids. So we need minerals, bioavailable minerals or structured minerals, minerals in the water. So there are no equipments to measure. Okay, microbial contamination we can do testing. We can do testing in the lab and we can see the microbial contamination. So in that there'll be beneficial microbes, E. coli and all. So these all E. coli and pathogenic bacteria. Turmeric has that property, sun has that property, Nirmali seed has that property to eliminate the impurities. And Nirmali seeds we can change after 2 or 3 iterations. So that's the reason I don't change the water. I allow the seeds to be there. It will dissolve. So it will dissolve and keep absorbing that impurities also down. So then I will clean the container. But at that time, if I don't clean container every time, so I will see scaling formed on the corners. I need to scrub. There'll be extra work for me to scrub. So if I have time, I will clean every day, but I'll reuse the Nirmali seed. I wash it and again transfer it back. But if I don't clean that container every alternate day or one day, if I keep it continuously for 1 week, then I have to put more work to scrub that scales and all. So that's how I will manage.
So there is an activity which you have mentioned about with the lemon, add 1 slice into glass.
That's what I was telling now. When we keep that, just adding a slice of lemon in water and covering a cloth and keeping under sun. So for 8 hours.
With sea salt, with sea salt also here.
Pinch of sea salt or Himalayan rock salt, and keep it under sun or moon, like basically natural light, for 24 hours or at least for 8 hours. Then drink that water. So this is an activity like where I have done in Kritika's place also. She was showing in between, but somehow we lost it. So this will charge the water. Basically, you can feel alkalizing properties. Yeah, Kritika is showing that container. So the container should not be kept airtight. This container should not be. Can you show in center, Kritika? We added, so this lemon slice you can use for 2 times. I think this is kept for a long time.
So here I have added cucumber pieces.
Cucumber, okay. So lemon will be good, Zira will be good. You can add mint also will be good. Basil will also be good. So these all will add minerals into your water. It will basically alkalize the water naturally.
How about coriander seeds?
Coriander seeds.
Yeah, usually they say coriander seeds or ajwain seeds will help.
Yes. Coriander seeds, ajwain seeds also can be added. Yes, it will also alkalize the water. So basically, people want to have plain water. So if you are comfortable with infused waters like Zira, Ajwain, Dhania, these all infusions will give a nice taste in water also. That water, even if you drink, at least you feel good. You will get some minerals rather than just drinking plain water. Infused waters.
So I
Guruji-
used to do boiling of water with jeera, but you're saying to keep it in sun is better.
Boiling, see, if you have to get extract of jeera, one is boiling. Okay, so by boiling you will get extract. By just adding jeera in water and keeping under sun, that's how you get sun infusion. Like suppose even you want to make some herbal teas. We'll be talking about herbal teas. So now one method is making decoction of that herbs. Other method is just add those herbs in a glass bottle, cover with a cloth and keep under sun and moon 24 hours. Then the herbs properties will be infused in water. But the problem with that is it cannot be kept for a long time. It will spoil. Like you have to finish it within that day. Then it will be fine.
Guruji, according to Kritika Ji Dunn, we have to first initially kept in the sunlight, or after 8 hours we have to keep it in the sunlight?
Either first moon charge or sun charge or moon charge. Either way it's fine. But 24-hour cycle would be good. How did you felt that day you had water in Kritika's house?
Yeah, awesome, Guruji. Actually, that day I tasted the real water. Yeah, okay. Water will be like this, that I felt.
Okay, nice.
Okay, Guru. Means we have to keep it in sunlight, right, Guruji? After that, we have to be.
If you have a balcony, that's what I was asked. Okay, since 2-3 days I was asking to keep some basil in the bottle and keep under in the balcony. How are you feeling that water when you drink that water?
Yeah, good, Guruji. Feeling well.
Yeah, others?
It is nice, Guruji. I have been also doing it. It is really nice.
Yeah.
So the sun charge water is, the taste is changing.
Yes. Basically, it gets many properties. Sun will have UV rays and it will penetrate lot of cosmic energies into the water. Sun charging is very good. Sun and moon charge, and you need not worry about winters or rainy season. Daylight will be there. Okay.
I'm only concerned that when they say that UV light is not good and it is harmful, and when it is kept for the entire day.
UV light is good. For water, it's good. Like, see, our ponds and rivers are basically purified by sunlight, by that natural UV light only.
Yeah.
Even for your skin also, we are meant to be under trees. We have cut down the trees and we have constructed concrete buildings and lot of that harsh sun rays without filtered. Like we are not getting filtered sun rays. Basically, under trees, the trees will filter that harmful rays of the sun and it will give us. So it's our mistake. So we are exposing to that harsh sun rays and that's how it is causing problem. But for water, it is not problem. It is good. So even if we have to work under sunlight, try to finish your works before 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or after 4 o'clock. Like midday sun will be harsh. So either you have to be under trees or spend your get the sun indirectly. Then it will be fine.
Thank you, Guruji.
Any other doubts?
So a lot of people are doing work on this water, even in Bangalore, Vishwanath has done.
Yeah.
And in Rajasthan, they have done in rural areas.
Yes.
Good, I've read. There's one site also, water, I forgot the site. It gives very good articles on this water collection and rain harvesting.
Yes. So to give a recap, rainwater is the purest water. If you can catch and store your rainwater, not allowing sunlight and kept it ventilated, aerated, you can store that water throughout the lifetime. We need not store throughout the lifetime. Every year we have rain. So at least for 1 year, you can store and have that rainwater continuously. That is very good. The second option is your bore water, river water, or well water, all your municipal water, corporation water. If you keep this Nirmali seed and Moringa seed kernels, then keep under sun and moon charge. That is a natural purification method. The third option is your natural pond. You can set up a natural pond so that there you have sun charge, moon charge. Bioremediation and phytoremediation will happen in that pond. Basically, bioremediation by the microorganisms, phytoremediation by the aquatic plants in the water. That is third method. So the other thing is your RO existing. If it is bore water also, you can add the microbial ferments. We will talk later. You can just add that. You can just follow the same Nirmali and Moringa seed method. Or the other option is Rama water filter, the candle filter, which has charcoal, ceramic, and nano silver. Or you can additionally add charcoal and sand and pebbles into the candle filter. So there is one more technology called biosand filter, where again copper plate and charcoal and sand is being used majorly. So algae which is forming on top is again the process of purification only. So we need not worry about the algae and other things. But if you are allowing the algae to grow inside your container which I have shown, that has to be cleaned. But the same algae which is growing in biosand filters, that is not a problem because algae is formed, but it is handled with that filtration medium. So final output will be clear water. So there algae is very beneficial. That itself will help to purify the water. Then if you are having RO water, you can transfer it into mud pot and add copper plate, silver, gold into it, or even crystals, like crystals which you get from different mountain areas and river stones, riverside pebbles, soft, different colorful pebbles. That will also add minerals into your water. The other one is ash, adding finely sieved ash. You can also tie ash in a cloth and just keep it in the cloth inside the pot. But cloth, when you are keeping inside the water, it will go bad after a while. You need to remove. It will be difficult to manage. So in Isha, I have seen one copper container where you can add ash inside it. It will have tiny hole. It will infuse that ash inside that water. So even that is good. You can try something like that also. Or if you are adding in cloth, you have to just manage that cloth. You have to wash or replace that cloth once in a while. So you can make small potlies and you can add ash inside that water. So these are the methods. Alkaline water. Try not to use plastic bottles or plastic filters, plastic cartridges, alkaline cartridges, synthetic alkaline cartridges. That will have impact later in our health. That's it.
Guruji, one more question, last question. What do you suggest for the overhead water tanks? Because this is what we are doing in the house that you are telling.
So the plastic overhead tanks is problem because plastic will leach. But yeah, when we are taking bioenzymes, so when you are using bioenzymes, automatically that will handle the impurities.
Okay, because the water is so hard, you won't believe. Every now and then when I get this overhead water tanks clean, there is
lot of scale formation will happen. Yeah, when you use bioenzymes, it will soften the water. It will descale the water completely.
I have a question. Which bioenzyme should we put to the overhead water tank? So, do we have to put biosalt or
bioenzymes?
Normal that with the peels which we do that.
Yeah, with the peels. Yeah.
Okay, it should be the clear bioenzyme we should put into the water tanks.
Yes.
Shailaji, one question on this rainwater. So you mentioned it should be ventilated and aerated. What does it mean?
Ventilated means like if suppose if you are storing rainwater, you should not allow sunlight to fall, and there should be some air pipe. So it should be aerated.
And at home, how it is possible? Like how we have to?
Normally, when you construct a tank, so you will have a pipeline like hose pipe, something like that. So where air will pass, but sunlight will not fall.
Right.
Air pipe, air pipe.
But in apartments, like, no, we don't have a separate this one where we can collect the rainwater. We can keep it. So how do we?
For some time it will stay, not a problem. But if you want to store for a year like that, then air pipe is very much required. You can actually keep, suppose you have a steel tank, you can create one nozzle like outlet. You just cover a cloth so that air will pass inside that container.
Covering a cloth with that on top.
Sunlight should not fall.
That's okay, but in not sunlight, but only covering the cloth with cotton cloth. Is it enough?
Sunlight will fall, na, inside?
No, inside kitchen, like where the
inside no kitchen, yeah.
There is no light. There is no light where I am covering.
Daylight, but daylight will fall, na? It should be dark.
Yeah, it should be dark. We would do that. We try to do that, but for ventilation, like covering a cloth, cotton cloth, is it enough?
I mean, when you create a pipe to a container, so take the pipe straight and reverse it like this. Make a U pipe. So when you keep a U pipe, light will not go inside. Only air will flow. So we have to make that arrangement. Then you can store that rainwater inside the container for long time.
Okay.
So the rainwater should be collected after 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, thanks. So rainwater, because of pollution, we should not collect that first 2-3 rains because a lot of impurities are there in the atmosphere. So just wait for 2-3 rains, then you can collect the rainwater. Okay. So we are ending early today, huh?
One more question. Some people are telling that today rains are so acidic. Even we can't go into the rains also. Then how come it?
That's what. Only first 2-3 rains, because of the pollution, we have to avoid. After that, you can collect, not a problem.
Okay.
See, rainwater itself is pure because all the impurities will get filtered and then we get the pure water from the rain. Only the atmosphere which has impurities during the first 2-3 rains, we can avoid that.
Okay, Guruji. Thank you.
Guruji, during olden days, so we used to drink the water from well. Like when I used to go to village to my relative's place, I used to drink water from well, open well.
Yeah.
So that used to contain good bacteria and minerals and all those things. Okay.
Yes.
So the same thing, will that be replicated in this Raman filter thing, or it's like
Raman filter? Basically, it's like a filtration medium. When you are allowing sunlight and moonlight to fall, then you will have life in the water. You are using raw water. Okay. Yeah, the same benefit you will get.
Good. So if we use Nirmali, then probably that chlorine and all those things.
If you are using Raman water filter, the charcoal in it will dechlorinate the water.
Okay, so we no need to use that.
We need not use Nirmali seed or Moringa seed. Additionally, you can try.
Okay.
Anyway, it's purifying the water. Impurities are being removed.
Okay, and probably we can even use that this one, right? Wood ash and all those things.
Wood ash you can additionally add to it. Yes.
That will make it more alkaline.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Basically, we need not worry about water. Will have minerals by nature. Because we are using RO water, we are demineralizing. Basically, we are making it acidic. So only that ash is again added into the water to make it alkaline.
So if we are adding wood ash, we need to add it in the top floor, right? The
top. Yeah, I have not tried adding in the candle filter. You can try.
Okay, and where do we get this wood ash?
You can do homa in your house. You can collect some fallen twigs around, collect them and make homa havan in your house only and collect that ash and add it. That is very simple, sustainable also.
Okay.
So that by doing yagna homa in your house, you are fumigating your house. So that is good only.
Okay. So do we need to do that yagna homa using cow dung?
Yeah, it can be cow dung cakes or better than cow dung cakes is fallen twigs and all. Even cow dung, basically cow dung cakes I am not suggesting because nowadays cows are being tied at one place and fed with only one type of grass and we'll talk more about it.
Okay.
So otherwise, forest grazed cow, that dung will have better quality.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, cow dung should go into the soil. We need not burn it. We'll talk more about it. So at least fallen wood, like that is also not required, but yeah, this is an additional option.
So when we burn these twigs, we normally get this charcoal, right?
Charcoal is different, ash is different.
Okay, so when we burn the wood in without the presence of air, then we get this charcoal, correct? No? Okay, but here the presence of air is there, so it gets
complete combustion will happen, and it will turn into ash.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks.
Guruji, rainwater we can have directly, na Guruji? You can drink it.
Yeah, how you are collecting, like if you keep some container directly on the terrace and cover a cloth and keep, you collect that water and you can drink. But if it is falling on the roof and then if you are collecting, roof they have some contaminations, then you need some filtration, purification methods again.
Okay. Then the same purification, like we have to add Nirmali seeds, the same process, Guruji. Okay, thank you.
Guruji, in rainwater, people are telling we should leave first 10 to 15
I told, na? I already told. Yeah, we have to avoid the first 2-3 rains.
Oh, okay, Guruji. In our village, in the well and all, my grandma used to put that gooseberry rock inside that water. In our village.
Gooseberry rock, huh? What is that?
That gooseberry, that stem, what you tell? Kela.
Stem. Okay.
பெரிய நெல்லிக்காய் கிளையெல்லாம் வெட்டி அத வந்து கிணத்துக்குள்ள போடுவாங்க. தண்ணி இனிப்பா இருக்கும், தண்ணி clean ஆகும் அப்படினு சொல்லிட்டு.
See, if you see the well and pond, naturally there will be many trees around the wells and ponds. So there will be fallen leaves, twigs and all that will become, that's how the water gets purified with the fishes, with these all mineral properties of the leaves and herbs. That's how water gets purified and mineralized and charged. That's what we are doing in the container. Like whatever mechanism is happening there, we are doing in the container.
அது நீங்க ஸ்டெப் என்னென்ன போடலாம்லாம் சொல்லி கொடுப்பீங்களா?
நான் டாக்குமெண்ட் அனுப்புறேன்.
அப்புறம் குருஜி, கேரளாக்கு நான் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்டுக்கு போனப்போ அவங்க அந்த தண்ணியே சகப்பா தான் கொடுத்தாங்க. அந்த மஞ்சிஷ்டி எல்லாம் போட்டு மார்னிங் பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட் சாப்பிட்றப்போ அந்த சுடு தண்ணி ஒரு வாய் குடிச்சிட்டு தான் நீங்க சாப்பிடணும்.
Yeah, basically in Kerala, if you see, the water will be red in color. They add a decoction of some herbal extract inside the drinking water. Basically, they mostly drink hot water only. They boil the water and they will serve. Yeah, basically you are adding some mineral extract into the water by doing that.
Herbs தான் போட்டுருந்தாங்க, அந்த மாதிரி இது பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ட்டு. ஆனா காலையில பண்ணி ஈவினிங் குள்ள குடிச்சணுமா? மறுநாள் வைக்க கூடாது.
Yeah. Immediate குடிக்கணும். So one option is boiling the extract and just add that extract in the regular water, so that you are not boiling complete water. Just you are adding some extract into the water. Basically herbal water.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll just 1 minute silence. We will just sit for a minute. Thank you. So from now you can just consciously use the water and try to make the audit and see how much water you could save. And for tomorrow, you need to keep different containers, whatever you are using in your house. Keep some samples available. We'll try to measure energy. See if you have any partner. I will try to show some other method of measuring the energy of materials. So you can also try at your end. You need some other person beside. You can also hold the containers and measure the energies. So we need different mud, aluminium, Teflon, whatever you are using. Out of that, if you also have some natural material containers also, it will be good. Okay then.
Guruji, where do we get that pendulum that you normally use?
You can also use Rudraksha Mala.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay. My pendulum normally you will get from some acupressure shop, something acupressure shops will have that.
Thanks, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om Guruji.
Guruji, thank